How abstract can you make a logo design before it stops looking anything like what it's meant to? Welcome to another episode of TikClicks, a logo design case study for a client that found me on TikTok. This week we have CFA Productions, a media company based in Sydney who specialise in videography and photography. Owner, founder and young entrepreneur Christopher Fias-Aon, the CFA in CFA Productions, started his company with the depiction of his signature as his logo. But as his business expanded, he outgrew this logo, and with an aim to branch out into services like graphic design, teaching, and even a merch line, Chris needed something that he could use to brand everything. He was keen for a monogram, or at the very least a good representation of the CFA acronym that incorporated a little meaning and could be used in one colour so it would work well on black or white. I gave Chris two variations to pick from. One option used common symbols found in video editing to represent each letter. So a rotary dial for the C, timeline bars from Final Cut Pro as the F, and a rotated play button for the A. The concept was cool here, but I wasn't overly proud of this design. It was a bit on the nose, and the three elements felt a little bit disjointed. This was actually one of the last projects I did before I moved to a one concept approach with my clients, because as ever, this one wasn't nearly as strong as the other one that I presented. But I had to present two because I told the client I would as part of my contract. Kind of pointless, I don't do this anymore. As part of the design phase, I toyed with overlaying the characters of CFA on top of each other to see if any patterns or shapes emerged. And I eventually stumbled across an abstract representation of a video editing timeline and its layers. Chris was keen for the design to work well in black and white, but he also wanted an accent color to use across elements like call to actions on his website. We chose purple because this is a color associated with the timeline in Final Cut Pro, which his team predominantly used to edit their videos. So when I first presented this, the client was immediately seeing skyscrapers or buildings within the design. They loved the concept though, so they asked if there was anything that I could do to move it away from looking like a skyline. So I stretched that central bar across and rounded the corners of the design to stop them looking like windows. Chris and the team loved this because not only could they use this in isolation, they could also use the idea to make a repeating pattern to make designs for their merch line. Even the packaging for the hoodie that they sent me has this across the back, which I think is a wicked execution and something I had absolutely nothing to do with. This was a cool job and a great client to boot because they were collaborative and open to all sorts of ideas and discovery, which gave me loads to work with in the design phase. And here are some more images from the project, and follow me for more case studies like this, please.